I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
Welcome back to the Midday Muscle. And before we get started with this Recap Wednesday, cast in your early predictions for the glute spread contest between me and Palumbo. Woo! But I'll tell you what, Midday Muscle call out to the old Dave Palumbo himself. If you do a picture of your glutes first of, bodybuilding competition style, I'll also submit a photo. You guys can compare them. We can actually get a winner on this glute spread. That's our muscle community interaction, baby. Last week there's a little bit of lull in the schedule, but we're happy to report that last weekend had plenty of action. So let's get started hopping right into it with this recap out in the desert at this year's Phoenix Pro, where the big headline comes from your winner Rodriguez Chesnier, who returned to the winner's circle after delivering his best look of the season thus far. And sliding into the runner-up spot, we had Ryan Clark, as he secured the best placement of his pro career this far as well. Third place went to Nick Kyo, who I may need some pronunciation correction on, and who looked like he tightened things up a bit from his last outing at the Chicago Pro a few weeks ago. Fourth place went to New Jersey's own Michael Imperi. And rounding out the top five in his best finish of the year to date, we had veteran Andre Smith. Next up, down in the heart of Brazil, we had some top-tier talent in the bikini division square off at the first annual Excalibur Pro Bikini, where the big headline came from your winner, Helena July, who secured her first Olympia bid thanks in large part to being the best conditioned athlete on his stage last weekend. Moving into the number 2 slot, we had Miriam Barbosa, who looked like she did just enough to gain a slight edge over third place finisher Amanda Marquez, even though those two spots honestly looked like they could have been a toss-up to us. In fourth place, we had a familiar face in Ana Paula Baggio. And rounding out a surprisingly close top 5 group here, we had Luciana de Souza Santos. Just in case you missed our recap on the Tampa Pro, we were talking all about how Hunter Labrada absolutely murdered this thing from the moment he stepped on stage, with what was far and away the best performance of his career this far, but we'll circle back to him in a second. In the 212, Brazil's Fabrício de Souza Moreira showed up and took care of business on his way to scoring the first win of his IFBB career. And the same can be said of your classic physique winner, Matt Grego, who was absolutely lights out here from the word go. And in men's physique, we saw Aurelia Safe return to the winner's circle for the first time this year after he put together another rock-solid performance. Now we're moving on to the women's side, starting with women's bodybuilding, where Michaela Aycock was just phenomenal, and all the praise she's had thrown in her direction over the last few days has been completely justified because she was awesome here. In fitness, Allison Kramer came in and took care of business as she cruised to her easy win. And in figure, we saw Mexico's Querin Pacheco put together an incredible run on her way to locking up a hard-fought victory. So sorry if I mispronounced your name. In bikini, the top honors went to Ashlyn Little. And then Jeannie Feldman rose to the occasion to secure her win in women's physique. And finally, over in wellness, we saw Brazil's Rayane Fogel bring home the W. And before we sign off today, we've got one more update from the before-mentioned Hunter Labrada, who went on the record immediately after his win last weekend to say that he was still planning to bring his talents to the Texas Pro in 2 weeks, because apparently there were some rumors circulating that he was going to skip it so he could spend the next few months concentrating on his Olympia prep. We're glad he's not changing course here, because this is going to be one of the most anticipated matchups of the regular season. And considering how much momentum Hunter has behind him right now, if he rides that wave into Texas and knocks off Andrew convincingly, I think that alone will be enough to have people start mentioning his name as a potential top 5 finisher this year, which will make the run-up to Olympia weekend even more interesting. And that will do it for another Midday Muscle. Thanks for still watching. I'm gonna go find some squat racks to hit up, I guess. See you next time.